Welcome back to my channel, Coin Purchaser Coin Lovers. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1970 Liberty 1 cent coin, one of the most intriguing and collectible pennies in the history of United States coinage. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary penny, but don't be fooled. Some versions of this small copper coin are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to collectors today. So make sure you watch this video till the end, because we're going to uncover its amazing history, hidden errors, varieties, circulation facts, and the current market value of the 1970 Lincoln penny. The Liberty 1 cent coin of 1970, also known as the 1970 Lincoln cent, is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series that began in 1909, honoring the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB appear subtly on the reverse side of later issues. The 1970 penny continued the classic design tradition, featuring Abraham Lincoln's bust facing right on the obverse side, the word liberty to his left, and the phrase "In God We Trust" above his head. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, an image that symbolizes American strength and unity. The design was created by Frank Gasparro and first appeared in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This design stayed until 2008 before the shield design replaced it in 2010. In 1970, the United States Mint produced the 1 cent coin at two main locations: the Philadelphia Mint, which did not include a mint mark; the San Francisco Mint, represented by the small S mint mark under the date. However, this year became famous among collectors for one particular variety, the 1970s small date and 1970s large date versions. These two types have subtle but important differences. The small date variety has a thinner, taller 7, and the top of the 0 aligns perfectly with the 7. The large date version shows a thicker 7 and a slightly lower 0. The 1970s small date quickly became one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents because it was produced in smaller quantities and is much rarer to find in high grades. The 1970 Liberty 1 cent coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams. These coins were mass-produced for everyday use, circulating heavily across the United States for decades. Millions of them passed through the hands of Americans during the 1970s and 1980s in lunch money, piggy banks, and store change. Over time, many of them became worn, scratched, or melted for copper content, which reduced their numbers in circulation. Today, finding a 1970 penny in mint condition or proof condition is becoming more and more difficult. Now let's talk about what makes the 1970 Liberty 1 cent coin truly special: its rare varieties and error coins. The 1970s small date Lincoln cent is one of the most well-known modern rarities. Collectors search tirelessly for it because it's easy to confuse with the common large date version. But here's where things get even more exciting: there's also a 1970s double die obverse variety, one of the most famous errors in modern penny history. In this version, you can see strong doubling in the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as on the date itself. These coins are extremely rare and can sell for astonishing prices at auctions. Now the big question: how much is your 1970 Liberty 1 cent coin worth today? Let's break it down depending on type, condition, and rarity. In circulated condition, it's generally worth 1 to 5 cents. In uncirculated condition, the value can go up to $1 to $5. High-grade examples certified MS65 or above can fetch $15 to $25. Common in circulation, worth about 1 to 10 cents depending on condition. In uncirculated or proof condition, value ranges from $1 to $1.20. This is where the value jumps significantly. Circulated examples can bring $25 to $60, depending on eye appeal. In mint state condition MS65 and above, these coins can sell for $150 to over $400. High-quality proofs with deep cameo strikes can go as high as $600 to $1,000 at auctions. 1970s double die obverse error coin. These are the stars of the show. Depending on the strength of the doubling and grade, these can range from $1,000 to over $3,000. One example in pristine condition was sold at auction for over $4,000. Collectors love the 1970 Liberty 1 cent coin for several reasons: its design continuity, its multiple varieties, and it's linked to an era of American change. The 1970s represented a turning point in American coinage right before the transition to cheaper materials in the 1980s. Since the coin contains a high percentage of copper, even the metal itself gives it intrinsic value. With the price of copper rising over the years, many of these coins were unfortunately melted, making the surviving mint condition coins more desirable. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have seen a steady increase in submissions of 1970s small date and double die coins in recent years, a clear sign of growing collector interest and value stability. But if you think you have a rare version, never clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value dramatically. Instead, store it in a protective coin holder or plastic flip to keep it safe from scratches, humidity, and oxidation. The 1970 Liberty Penny is more than just a small piece of copper, it's a time capsule of American history. It reflects an era of strong national identity, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, and a link between the early 20th century and the modern United States. From a face value of just 1 cent, some of these coins have reached thousands of dollars, proving once again that history and rarity can turn ordinary change into a small fortune. So the next time you come across a 1970 penny, take a closer look, because that little piece of history could be worth far more than you imagined. If you enjoyed learning about the 1970 Liberty 1-cent coin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the world of rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment below, tell us if you've ever found a 1970 penny in your collection and what mint market has. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and remember, treasure is often hiding in plain sight. Where coins tell stories and small change can bring big surprises. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because today we're diving deep into the world of a humble yet fascinating coin, the Liberty 1 cent from 1987, minted in Denver, also known as the 1987 D. Lincoln cent. You won't believe how much this little copper treasure could be worth today. So stay with us till the end, because the last few minutes might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's start with the basics. The 1987 D. Liberty 1 cent is part of the famous Lincoln Cents series, a coin that holds the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This design was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. By 1987, the U.S. Mint had transitioned from mostly bronze coins to copper-plated zinc. This shift occurred in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. So, the 1987 D penny you might have in your jar or wallet today is made up of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper plating. The D mint mark under the date signifies it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary coin production hubs of the United States. And now, here's a jaw-dropping fact. In 1987 alone, the Denver Mint produced over 4.5 billion, yes, billion, of these coins. Specifically, the mintage number stands at approximately 4,879,389,514 coins. That makes it a very common coin in circulation, especially in worn condition. However, don't let the high mintage fool you. Even common coins can be worth a fortune if they have rare errors or are in pristine condition. Collectors are always on the hunt for coins that stand out. In the case of the 1987 D penny, certain varieties and errors are highly sought after. Off-center strikes where the coin design is visibly misaligned, double die obverse, DDO, where the inscriptions or Lincoln's features may appear double dot repunched mint marks, RPM, where the D appears punched more than once, and rare clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing from the edge. If you happen to own a coin with any of these features, especially in uncirculated or mint state condition, you could be holding onto something far more valuable than just 1 cent. Let's talk numbers now, the part everyone waits for. A regular circulated 1987 D penny is typically worth face value 1 cent, and in bulk, they're sold for a small premium to collectors or crafters. However, uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20. Mint state 67 coins are more rare, and auction prices for these high-end examples have reached up to $150 or more. depending on demand and eye appeal, that if your coin has an error, like a major off-center strike or a DDO, its value can skyrocket to $100, $300, or even more, depending on the rarity and condition. The record sale for a 1987 D penny in mint state 68 red condition was over $1,500, yes, $1,500 at a professional auction. So next time you go through your change, keep your eyes sharp. So, is the 1987 D Liberty 1 cent rare? On its own, no. But in the right condition or with the right error, it can be a mini goldmine hiding in plain sight. Here are a few quick tips for checking your 1987 D pennies. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the date or lettering. Inspect the coin's edges for any irregular cuts or clips. Compare your coin's shine and surface to online reference images for MS67 or MS68 graded coins. Always consider sending a potentially valuable coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate its condition and maximize its resale value. And there you have it, the fascinating journey of the 1987 D Liberty 1 cent. From its rich history at the Denver Mint to the possibility of big value in rare conditions, this coin is a true example of how even the smallest things can carry the biggest stories. If you found this video informative and helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more coin stories, comment below if you have a 1987 D penny, we'd love to hear from you. And share this video with your fellow coin collectors and treasure hunters. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep checking your change, because treasure might just be in your pocket. The ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, incredible values, and untold stories of American currency. Today's spotlight is on a tiny treasure with a massive surprise. We're talking about the Liberty 1 cent 2022 United States coin, a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket change, and could be worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that costs just 1 cent to spend could now fetch $1 million. So what makes this modern penny so special? Let's dive deep into its origin, circulation history, collector value, and the mystery behind its meteoric rise in the numismatic world. Chapter 1, A Short Coin, A Long Legacy, the origins of the Liberty 1 cent. To truly appreciate the 2022 Liberty 1 cent coin, we need to understand the rich legacy of the American penny. The 1 cent coin has been a part of American life since 1793. The earliest versions featured the flowing hair Liberty design, a symbol of the young nation's freedom and independence. Over the centuries, the penny evolved in both design and material. In 1909, the famous Lincoln cent was born, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It featured Lincoln's bust on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, known as the beloved wheat penny. In 1959, the wheat design was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, and later in 2010, the current Union Shield design was introduced, symbolizing national unity. And in 2022, the United States Mint continued this tradition by issuing the Liberty 1 cent with a fresh, crisp design, updated features, and surprisingly, an aura of mystery that would later catch the attention of collectors around the globe. Chapter 2, The 2022 Coin, Design, Details, and Minting. The 2022 Liberty 1 cent coin was minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark carries its own distinction and subtle differences that eagle-eyed collectors are always searching for. Let's talk about the design. On the obverse, we see President Abraham Lincoln, as has been tradition since 1909, facing right. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the mint year, 2022. The detail in Lincoln's profile is striking. Modern minting techniques have sharpened the image to near perfection. On the reverse, the coin features the iconic Union Shield, introduced in 2010. The shield symbolizes unity in a divided past, with 13 stripes representing the original colonies. Across the shield reads 1 cent, and above, the proud United States of America. Below the coin's rim, a fine inscription reads E pluribus unum, out of many. Sounds normal so far, right? But here's where things get interesting. Chapter 3, Rare Errors and Unexpected Discoveries. As 2022 pennies began to circulate, sharp-eyed collectors noticed something strange. Some coins exhibited striking errors, double dies, off-center prints, or even planchet flaws. These imperfections, while technically minting mistakes, are like gold to collectors, but there's one version of the 2022 Liberty 1 cent coin that's unlike any other. A limited batch, believed to have been minted at the San Francisco Mint, appears to have a misaligned die strike, giving Lincoln's image a slightly warped appearance. In others, collectors discovered microscopic lettering inconsistencies on the reverse. Some say it spells out a hidden mint code, others believe it's simply a manufacturing fluke. But in the world of coins, flukes become fortunes. One of these error coins reportedly sold at a private auction in early 2024 for $1 million. Why? Rarity, condition, and above all, intrigue. Chapter 4: Circulation Value versus Market Value. So what's the real value of a 2022 Liberty 1 cent coin? In circulation, these coins are worth exactly 1 cent. They're made from 97.5% zinc with a thin layer of copper plating. The cost to produce each coin is actually more than its face value, around 2.1 cents, but the US Mint continues to produce them for tradition and utility. You'll find them in everyday change, in vending machines, or dropped between car seats. Millions of them exist. But most are just average coins. However, select versions, especially those in mint condition, with error strikes, or those with unique serial batches, have begun to explode in collector circles. A perfect uncirculated coin, graded MS-70 by a professional service, could sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And then there's the legend, the 2022 Liberty 1 cent with an ultra-rare error that sold for $1 million. The coin was housed in a protective case, preserved in flawless condition, and authenticated by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. That sale turned heads worldwide. Chapter 5: How to spot $1 million penny. Could you be holding $1 million penny? Here's what to look for: a mint mark, check for S, San Francisco, D, Denver, or no mark, Philadelphia. Rare mint marks matter. Condition: look for clean surfaces, no wear, and sharp details. Coins in mint state, MS, are the most valuable. Errors: seek out double die strikes, off-center designs, or planchet cracks. Color: red pennies, RD, are worth more than brown, BN, or red-brown, RB. Grading: get your coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Even without an error, a pristine 2022 Liberty 1 cent can be a sought-after collectible. But if you find the rare error version, you could be looking at life-changing value. Chapter 6: The Future of the Penny and Why It Still Matters. There's been talk in Congress of eliminating the penny altogether. Its production cost outweighs its usefulness, and many nations have already retired their smallest denominations. But here's the truth: the penny is more than just currency. It's history in your hand. Each 1 cent coin carries the spirit of liberty, the memory of Lincoln, and now, for some, the chance at unimaginable wealth. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 2022 Liberty 1 cent coin is proof that even the smallest things can have the biggest impact. So what are you waiting for? Check your pockets, dig through your piggy banks, and look closely at those pennies lying around. You just might find a 2022 Liberty 1 cent coin that could be worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on the next rare coin alert. And tell us in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Thanks for watching Coin Chronicles, and until next time, keep your eyes open and your coins close.